Coming up on today's show,
João Pedro lines one up. Oh, finds the corner brilliantly.
Chelsea are through to the final of the Club World Cup.
Takeaways and off the line by Gyökeres.
New signing João Pedro scored 2 brilliant goals to beat his boyhood club Fluminense.
João Pedro.
But who will they face in the final? Will it be PSG or Real Madrid? Stay tuned for all the action. Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Alex Aljoe and me, Gary Lineker. Chelsea are through to the final of the Club World Cup after beating Fluminense 2-0 in New York City. Don't forget, every single match is available to watch live and for free on the DAZN app. No subscription required, and there's only 2 games left now. We're recording this on Wednesday after the Chelsea game, but before the Real Madrid PSG game, which we'll cover in the next episode. So we'll focus mainly, well, almost entirely on Chelsea Fluminense. And in the second half, there's quite a bit of transfer speculation, moves, things that we can talk about then. Alex, you were doing both semi-finals, I presume, because they're in New York, and you were there watching your team.
Who? Fluminense. I'm not a Fluminense fan.
Go through to the final.
It was actually a brilliant performance from Chelsea yesterday. Fluminense have looked good throughout the tournament, but they were made to look very ordinary by Enzo Maresca's team. Clean sheet, very solid at the back, and wow, what a first start for Joao Pedro. It could not have gone
Pedro,
any better than that. Yeah, wow, Pedro. I like it. Yeah. I like it. But the first goal was brilliant. Then I think the second was arguably even better.
Fernandes out to the left-hand side. It's João Pedro. He's in again for Chelsea. João Pedro! He's done it again!
75 miles an hour against his boyhood club. What a story that is. He apologised to them. He didn't celebrate. They weren't overly happy with him at the final whistle because we did the interview right in front of the Fluminense fans. Which,
I saw you asking him the question, and I thought he was very diplomatic in his answer.
He came across well, didn't he? But brilliant start for him. What a player, what a signing. Just what Chelsea needed.
What a performance on and off the pitch, wasn't it? I mean, it was... the 2 goals were fantastic. The way he positioned himself, the way the balance, and obviously the most important thing, the finish of both of them was just magnificent. I'm not too sure about the non-celebration. You know as well as you know me that I don't agree with all that crap. But
old school.
His 2 goals were just outstanding. And Chelsea, I mean, I thought all over the park they were really, really impressive. I mean, you talk about his 2 goals defensively. I thought they were superb. Goal line clearance, defended well when they had to. And they're looking good, aren't they, Chelsea? Yeah,
I thought they played really well, dominated the game. It never looked really in any doubt, I don't think. Obviously, there was the decision turned over, the handball.
Rene in low, where's it going to drop? Well, they're claiming handball, and the referee points to the penalty spot.
Well, he's hit his hand for certain.
Handball committed by number 23 of Chelsea. The hand is in a normal position, natural position. This is not permissible. And another foul by Liverpool. No penalty.
Which I think we all agree they got it right on that particular occasion.
I asked Trevor Chalobah about it after the game. I said, did your heart sink when they said it was a penalty? He went, no, my heart didn't sink because I knew it wasn't a penalty. He was really defiant. He was like, no, it didn't. And actually, credit to the ref as well for turning over, because we don't often see that in the Premier League, do we? It takes a lot of confidence to say, sorry, got it wrong. But it wasn't a penalty, I don't think.
Yeah, I was saying on the group, wasn't I? Oh my God, what on earth is he given a penalty there for? So I was pleased, I should say, when he overturned his error.
So it was a frustrating game, I think, for Nicholas Jackson, who came on in the 60th minute, and that was pre-planned because Joao Pedro's been on the beach. He hasn't been training. He's not fully fit. But yeah, Nicholas Jackson came on. He looked really frustrated, and then Cole Palmer was fuming at him for not passing to him, which understandably so free in front of goal.
So he should be.
You don't usually see him being demonstrative at all. It's the first time I've seen him really actually show that kind of, just shows you burning underneath. There's a competitive soul in there. And he was really pissed off with him, wasn't he? Because as you can see that he should have squared the ball. He takes a shot, misses by the near post, and then Goal Palmer kicks in. He kicks the post in frustration at that. He also was involved, wasn't he, with the injury at the end to Moses Caicedo, wasn't he? Because he hit poor ball and he ended up getting injured at the end. I don't know. Do you any update on his injury?
Yeah, I asked Maresca about it after the game. He said, I've just told him he has to be fit for Sunday because he said before the game, we are a better team with Moises Caicedo in it. Fact. Because obviously he was suspended for the last game, the Palmeiras game, came back into the team. But although he did say Andres Santos did really well playing instead of Caicedo in that game. But yeah, he said, I've just told him he has to be fit, so he doesn't have an option.
What do you make of the, I don't say it's his dilemma, it's actually quite a strong position to be in now. They've gone from only really having one out-and-out striker, Chelsea, haven't they, to having three. And don't forget, Esteval's coming as well, who can kind of play anywhere in those roles. So now they've got Jackson, Delap, and of course Pedro. Who plays, Alan?
I don't know. Am I playing devil's advocate here and thinking Jackson maybe
surplus to require?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. That wouldn't surprise me if he was sold to someone, whether in our country or not. I don't know, but that's one that wouldn't surprise me if they made that decision.
Just think that Joao Pedro is so versatile. He can play. It was sort of a false nine yesterday, playing deeper, but he can play on the wing. He even he had the ball away in the back post at one point. It was all over the pitch. Whereas obviously Jackson is more your out and out striker, isn't he? And then Liam Delap suspended for that game. He comes back, but surely Joao Pedro starts. Surely.
Almost certainly, I would say.
They have got some serious options, those Chelsea now, in every forward position.
Well, they've got like 73 players for every position. Slight exaggeration. But
it's 29 players out here, by the way. 29.
29.
Because I asked the other day, and they were like, why do you want to know? No. I was like, I just want to know. 29. Jamie Gittins is 30, obviously, but he can't play. But then they have the players back home, the likes of Breuer, Chilwell, Sterling. so they've got a few players. I think they need to offload before they sign any more.
What do you think the strongest, say, front line is, Al? If you had the three of them, you got obviously Neto. That's
Neto. I'm a big fan.
I just saw his. There's a post about Neto. Obviously talking about he wants to dedicate the final. In fact, I've got it here. The quotes actually talking obviously about Diogo Jota. It's been a really difficult past few days. It's a really tough time for me, difficult to speak about it, and let's hope I can do it for him. I want to dedicate this final to him and his family and show my support in these difficult times for them. Yeah, they're obviously close friends, would have played in the, together.
I like him. He's been impressive, by the way, on the pitch as well. Even with what he's had to go through mentally to get through that game or games. I like it. I like how direct he is, how powerful he is running with the ball, and he's someone that I would love to play up front with, because I think in terms of how being direct and knowing he's going to get the ball in, I think it's someone I'd enjoy playing up front with. So for me, he's one that will and should start. But the options have got
possibly on the left.
Gittins.
I mean, João Pedro can play on that. We've seen him play there many times for Brighton. He can also, as you quite rightly said, Alex, he can drop into that almost a number 10 role or false 9. But then you'd probably have Palmer behind him, and then like they did, I thought it was really quite impressive. Yeah, they're making strides, Chelsea.
And
they
money.
Really are, aren't they? Oh, and the money, yes.
It's crazy. It's 86.9 million currently as things stand, getting to the final.
And if they were to win it, what extra does that put on top? I mean, it's not as if Chelsea need it, is it? They can just sell another hotel or the women's team or whatever.
How much extra do they get if they win it, Alex?
I think it will go to 90 million or so, because it was going to be $125 million maximum, which I converted earlier and it came at 90 million or something. Yeah, it's the first time I've had to convert those figures.
That'll buy a player. You buy one player.
Well, it's what? Joao Pedro was 60 million, so you got Joao Pedro with a 30 million in hand. You
actually sent Alex that Harry's just passed me the numbers here. So For participation alone, Chelsea got 29.6 million. For 2 wins in the group stage, 3 million there. The round of 16 knockout, 5.8 million. Quarter-final, 10.2 million. And then for beating Fluminense, they got 16.3 million, and they're already guaranteed at least another 22 million for the final.
Yeah.
Not that they needed it, by the way, but they're not struggling for the PSR laws or rules, are they? It's like they're all right to go forward.
Well, it saves them buying a hotel that's already owned by them.
Say that, yeah. They're not struggling.
All I'll say, money aside, and I know it's important, there's a lot of money, but they do really want to win this. They do care. It's not just about the money. The players aren't probably thinking about the money when they're out on the pitch, are they? They just want to win their game. So they care a lot, and I know they want to win it. But it's not going to be easy because they've got to beat PSG or Real Madrid, and they probably haven't been tested because we've said it, haven't we? They were lucky with the side of the draw, luckier than having been on the other side of the draw.
They've definitely got the right side of the draw.
Big test now.
Definitely got the right side of the draw, but they've made the most of it. I mean, tell us about the heat yesterday. It looked like inside the stadium in New York.
It was absolutely crazy because I've said it's been hot, but that was probably the hottest it has been. Yeah. Everyone was dripping, like fans, just like clothes were drenched. It was boiling, and I interviewed Tosin at half time, which is obviously the last thing he wanted to do. He was just soaking wet. I said, what are the conditions like? I got one word: tough. I know you don't want to do this interview, but whatever. I'm sorry.
That's never great. One word answers are never great.
I asked 4 questions.
What else to ask?
The press officer said 2 questions. I said fair enough, but it ended up being 4 questions, and the interview was 30 seconds. That's all he had.
That's never a good sign, is it, when you get a 1 word answer?
No, but it was so tough for them out there. It was absolutely boiling.
Chelsea, do you think they can compete for the title next season?
I do, yeah. I don't think they're finished in terms of their transfer business. There'll be more come in and go out as well. So, yeah, I do. I think they've been very smart in who they're signing, and they've made some clever ones, and I think there'll be more. So I think they will, yeah, absolutely. And they'll build on from what they've achieved this season, conference, qualifying for the Champions League, and they'll go again, yeah.
Must be music to your ears, Alex.
I was going to say, it just feels like they're finding form. Finally, 13 wins now in their last 15. They haven't conceded a goal in the first half here, the Club World Cup. And I asked Maresca about it, just said, like, you've got something good going on. And he said the classic, no, game by game. We take it game by game. We just think about Sunday. But I think, looking ahead to next season, it's exciting. We could achieve some good things.
I've always wondered, one day you interview a manager and you say, so, you've got this coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and if you win that game, and then turn around and go, say, when we win that one, then we're going to win that game and do that. Just once to be like, oh. How do you deal with that? Anyway, so great result for Chelsea. They're in the final. They'll play, as we've said, PSG or Real Madrid. Let's take a break, and when we come back, let's talk a bit about the transfer news and speculation. Welcome back to the Rest is Football with Alex Aljoe, Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. Let's drift away from the Club World Cup just for a few minutes, and bit of the transfer speculation here in the UK. Anthony Elanga, Newcastle have stepped into the arena, Alan, and bought somebody. 55 million quid from Nottingham Forest. I really enjoyed watching him play. I actually liked him at Manchester United. I thought he had something. Incredibly quick. You happy about this one? Yeah,
very happy. I said the other day, didn't I? I was a little bit concerned with the lack of activity coming out of Newcastle, but it looks as if things are starting to move. And if I'm pretty sure they will get it over the line. I think that's a good signing. He is rapid. He'll work really, really well with Isak because they'll obviously know each other. So I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think it's a good signing. Obviously, they'll need a bigger squad as well because they're going into the Champions League as well.
Yeah. Now, when you look at who they'll have, Murphy and Elanga right side, they've got Barnes and Gordon left side, Isak up top. I guess because of the news with Callum Wilson, him not renewing his contract. That means they are going to need someone else to come in the forward position. But that's a really good start, I think, and I think they'll get another 3 or 4 in.
Yeah, Callum Wilson's out there with you, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say, he was like practicing this joke for Enzo Maresca yesterday. He wanted to say like, before I saw Joao Pedro score those goals, I was going to offer you my services. He was worried about how Maresca would take it, but he took it really well. He found it funny. He saw the funny side. But so he's currently looking for a club, but I think he's got a few options.
He's been very, very good for Newcastle, by the way. I think he deserves a mention as well. For the 5 years, I think he's been there. He came at a tough time. He's seen a bit of everything. He's seen the great times, and he was there for the not-so-good times. Yeah. And he deserves a big shout-out because for 5 years, I think it is, he's been very, very good. I know he's 1 or 2 injuries, maybe more than he wanted, but he scored some really important goals for Newcastle. So thank you and well done, Callum Wilson.
And he's doing a good job out here as well. He's a great pundit and a lovely guy, so good luck to him.
How do you see them lining up then, Alan? There's obviously Isak and Elanga probably on the right, and then
Gordon.
Obviously Gordon and Barnes have got as well, and they've got Jacob Murphy, who had a fantastic season, didn't he?
Amazing.
So you've got, I suppose it's that thing now. You need 2 high-quality players in every position, particularly the amount of football you're being played. It looks like Arsenal have got a number 9 finally. No, I don't think anyone really thought they needed one, but Viktor Gyökeres is almost over the line, just waiting for the fee to be decided between the 2 clubs. He's scored something like pretty much a goal a game in his period in Portugal. Prior to that, he was at Coventry and I think Brighton as well, and he didn't really pull up too many trees, so he's obviously come into the fore. He's 27 years old. Is he the right man, Alan, do you think?
Yeah, they need that. That's what they need. And we've said it, they needed it last summer. I mean, you look at his numbers the last couple of years, they're outstanding. They're off the chart good.
I think it's 68 and 66 to be
it's incredible. I mean, they are so impressive numbers. So that's exactly what Arsenal have needed. Yeah. And there's no doubt. I mean, I think in that team, he'll score goals. And that's what their fans demand and needed. And so they'll be a huge threat as well.
It'll be a challenge for him because it is different, obviously. We saw Darwin Núñez, didn't we, come in for scoring, not quite to that degree, but not far off in Portugal, then going to Liverpool, and obviously it's never really happened for him. He's had his moments, of course. So, it's a bit of pressure on. There's always pressure when you move. I mean, he's got a bit of experience, obviously quite a lot of experience of English football. But it's obviously Arsenal would have, I'm sure, had scrutinised him closely, would have watched a lot of his football in the last 2 years.
Bit of a blow I would guess, for Man United, though, with their manager knowing how well he is and how their relationship and understanding and all of that, for him to go elsewhere rather than go with his old manager. But there you go, that happens, going to London, I guess. So
yeah, I don't know whether you've seen the United news, but their main target for a new striker is Ollie Watkins. But reports are saying that United may now move for free agents, either Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Jamie Vardy, if they can't get their first option, which I suppose suggests that, money is tight or they're being tight, one of the two.
If they have to take a free agent, Calvert-Lewin or Jamie Vardy, then they need fine, that might be a backup striker, but they'll need more than that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those two, but they need more than that to get where they want to go as well. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I think they'd rather have Ollie Watkins. But Ollie Watkins is still being linked with Arsenal, isn't he? Which he'd probably rather that move.
Yeah, with Gyökeres there, though, I suspect that might not be the case. Although, again, we talk about we need backups. Chelsea bought 2 strikers, so we'll have to wait and see on that. The Madueke one's quite interesting. Looks like he's agreed a 5-year contract with Arsenal. Small gap in the valuation between the clubs. Negotiations ongoing, but it looks like that one will be done. Ongoing talks remain between Manchester United and Brentford over Brian and Bumo. So that may well happen. And the interesting one that's just broken is that Spurs are quite close to signing Wissa. And obviously that would be Thomas Frank's, I'm sure, preferred option. He had him at Brentford, didn't he? I think I'd really like Wissa. I think he's a proper goal scorer.
Yeah, I was going to say they play so well together though, Brian and Mbeumo and Wissa. So that would be a shame. But
and I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to get Mbeumo as well.
Both of them, exactly.
Snatch him from Manchester United's grasp, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, Alan. But
no, not surprising at all. But from a point of view of Brentford, I mean, their recruitment has always been very, very good. But to lose both of them would be a massive kick for them.
Well, they've lost so many key players already, haven't they, as well? It's not going to be easy for their new manager.
No, that's right.
And they've lost captain Neugaard as well, hasn't he? He's gone to Arsenal. Looks like Kudus has said yes to Spurs. West Ham have rejected the initial bid of 50 million, though. Talks are ongoing there. Kudus he's very talented.
Yeah.
Bit hit and miss, I think, at times, but he may only get better.
I would imagine he would do under Thomas Frank at Spurs. So he could be a good sign. But you're right, he has to do it on a more regular basis.
And Everton have agreed to sign Tierno Barry from Villarreal for 27 million. So Everton spending some money on a striker, which they've really struggled in that position over the last couple of seasons.
He's 6'5", he is. Barry.
6'5",
he's
is he?
huge. He's huge. Yeah.
I guess Everton will be putting balls into the
I was going to
box
say
next
he needs
season.
some good wingers.
It would help.
It would help.
I've got to finish with this one though. Kyle Walker's joined Burnley for £5 million from Manchester City. A work game with Scott Parker, and they played way back when at Tottenham Hotspur.
That's a really good signing for them with the experience and everything else. I mean, that is a coup for them. There's no doubt about it.
Makes a lot of sense to me, that one. Kyle Walker going there. A bit of an old head around the dressing room is always invaluable. Yeah. He's a proper professional, captain of Manchester City for a while. I think it's a good one.
I think Burnley have probably learnt from their past mistakes as well. The last time they were in the Premier League, they were so poor defensively, weren't they? They conceded so many goals. So obviously...
And they were very young, weren't they? So he's brought in a bit of experience this time. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. I'm sure my business partner, Tony Pastor, will be absolutely thrilled. Well, that's it for today's episode of The Rest is Football. We'll be back next time reviewing the other semi-final between PSG and Real Madrid. So don't forget, every single match is available to watch live and for free on the DAZN app. No subscription required. So for now, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.